Is back. Yes, I'm starting a new playthrough in State of Decay 2, and this one is going to be dedicated to new players that are trying to get into the Nightmare Zone. I'm not taking any boons, and I'm not going to be using any of the paid DLC. This will approximately resemble what your State of Decay experience would look like if you just got the game, though if you have the Xbox Game Pass, it actually comes with the DLC, so you would actually have access to it, and I would not. But the first thing you're going to do, and this is different from when I played Season 1, is you don't want to pick random characters. Why? Because as a new player, you just shouldn't do that. Like, there's no reason to. But you choose random characters when you just want to, have the pride of saying, oh, I beat it under even more adverse conditions. But here are the characters I chose. First off, we've got Abigail Montalvo. She's a gardener, and I didn't take any negative traits. You need gardening into advanced skill agriculture because food is kind of a gatekeeper in this game. If you don't have food, it's really annoying because your guys will eat you out of house and home. Because people in Nightmare Zone eat 1.5 food instead of 1, so they eat 50% more food. So we need access to somebody with gardening. No questions asked. Next up, we've got Tiffany Fallon, probably no relationship to Jimmy Fallon. Once again, chose somebody with mechanics. No negative traits. I don't believe any of those are negative traits. And why do you need mechanics? I'm going to do mechanics into auto mechanic as the advanced skill, simply so that you don't have to wonder if you can repair your vehicle. You need at least mechanics to construct repair kits for your vehicle, and if you can't build repair kits, then it's just really random whether or not you're going to be able to repair your vehicle. And your vehicle is extremely important in every game mode, but it's very, very, very important in Nightmare Zone. And those two I would consider necessary. I would not recommend starting without them, but over here we've got Guinevere Bishop, and for the third one I chose chemistry. We're going to do chemistry into pharmacology, because my goal is to get kind of a influence pump going, where we could just make a ton of influence and just overcome the game with a lot of money. That's what we're going to do. Going to jump right on in. So, I do shout-outs during the loading screen, but we might not have a loading screen. Oh.
And we're empty. Again.
So, whose turn is it to find more fuel?
Not me. Last time, a juggernaut almost ripped me in half.
I have a better idea. We could settle down here instead of moving on.
I admit, it looks better than the last couple of towns we came through.
Now that you mention it, it does feel kind of homey.
It's settled. This town is where we'll set up our new base. We just have to find a spot that's defensible. Maybe with some room to expand.
Yeah, I mean, it's super homey looking. I mean, we've got, like, bones on the ground and everything. Time to see how rusty I am at the game after taking about almost 2 weeks off. So we got food. Let's just transfer these over. I don't want to carry it because I don't want any encumbrance. Let's see what my supplies are. Heard a zombie. So I got a carpenter's axe, I've got a 7-slot backpack, 2 snacks, and 2 bandages. Bandages are not good in combat since they can be interrupted, but what can you do? So we did start with fuel in the car. That's one of the first things you want to see. Do you have fuel? Because this car is operational, but it doesn't have fuel. Looks, that vehicle looks operational, actually. Let's go over there. So, oh, there's a feral. Never mind. That's actually kind of good that the feral is there, which means there probably won't be a feral between us and the house. So in the beginning, probably going to play a little slower. Not probably, we just are going to play slower. Because... and like, we got a horde already in front of us. Hopefully our allies don't muck this up. So basically the issue is that we don't want to make too much noise. We don't want to fight unnecessarily in the beginning of the game. The advantage to a small community is that we're very quiet. The disadvantage is that...
Hello? Zombies incoming.
The disadvantage is that we're very vulnerable to pretty much everything. So even though I'm not too crazy, like, I would love to just run to the house, let me tell you right now, but I don't want to beat our weapons up unnecessarily, even though there's three of us. Three of us could easily tear up some of these zombies, but there's just no reason.
Horde incoming.
And my allies did mess it up.
You've got a horde. Yup. They're coming in from multiple sides.
I'm going to let them start fighting. Because what I want to do is hopefully just take some of these guys like this. So one of them screamed, that's why additional people are coming. If you're new to State of Decay, the first thing you should know is that Nightmare Zone's very noisy, like everything makes more noise. Not technically everything, but many things make more noise. And as regular zombies can scream, and the scream that they make is actually quite loud. In the beginning, when you don't have anything to your name, you want to make sure you're trying to kill zombies like I am right now. When I slit their throat like that, it doesn't cost any supplies, like it doesn't bang up my weapon or anything.
Better take down that bloater before I'm sucking fumes.
I'm guessing that bloater... We don't have a ranged weapon, so dealing with a bloater is kind of a pain. So being stealth is annoying with allies. One ally's not terrible for stealth, but two allies, typically they're too clumsy to actually be able to copy your stealth movements. Go ahead and take these guys out too. Get a little bit of a wits EXP in the process.
That won't work.
Oh, I didn't dodge behind them, so that was an unnecessary hit.
Getting tired. That's good.
So we got an injury. Very common in Nightmare Zone. Everything, any source of damage can cause an injury. That's just the way Nightmare Zone is. I can already tell I'm not as sharp as I normally am. Let's deal with this screamer over here. Is he facing us?
Distance, so that screamer
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
call his
facing us,
friends.
so I don't want to approach towards him. What we're going to do is just going to go
Onside
around
now.
and deal
I
with
got
that
this job
screamer.
covered.
We don't want that screamer going off. We got enough enemies to deal with as it is. I also don't want to waste too much of our daytime. So one of the things you want to do, if you want to go faster while stealth, you can do this. Like, I messed it up earlier by getting impatient and not holding the B button down. But if you hold the B button down, you'll do a little dash. And it eats up some stamina, but it allows you to move faster. Just make sure you're actually holding the B button down. And you can move quite rapidly like this, as you can see.
Locked.
I think it'll be fine to bash this door open.
Way too noisy.
Smashing doors open, it's not as noisy as some people might think it is. It's the sound wave is similar to about the size of the house, so yeah, you'll probably wake up everyone in the house, but that's about it. You can actually check by looking at your mini-map. Like right now, you can see how much noise you're making. You see these little sound waves coming off. We need to check the downstairs area before we can claim the house.
This could be our next home. All clear. Once we
Interesting.
claim
There's
this
only
place,
one zombie.
We can start getting settled.
That's not a bad idea.
So we're stuck with this injury for a while, unfortunately. And that's because we're going to need a level 2 infirmary to get anything done. Level 1 infirmary is not good enough to heal injuries.
Our first priority has to be gathering materials. We'll need them to improve this place.
You know, it'd be great if you could go scout out a place for us.
So the way you know that I am indeed on Nightmare Zone, all we gotta do is go right here. Teeming zombie population, Nightmare Zone. That's a quick way to tell that we're on Nightmare Zone. And we don't have any boons or anything like that, so... let's clear this. We can only clear one thing at a time, so... Let's change characters and have them deposit their... yeah, I'll just blaze this character.
It's all yours. Call if you need me.
Supplies delivered. Go
Give me that. Take the rucksack. Okay, so we need to go find materials, etc. What do you got? You got an axe. You got pretty much basically the same gear. And you have an injury, probably from your skirmish earlier. Nothing we could do about that. That's just the way it is. So that zombie just now screamed. Rewind the video a little bit, and you will see the sound wave it produced. And you'll see that the sound wave goes well beyond the mini-map. And that's why these zombies are approaching over here. Like, why is this guy coming for a visit? He heard the scream. That's why all these guys are coming. Every single one of them is here specifically because of that. Okay. Okay, so right now our quest is to go get the cell tower data. That's not a bad idea. Where possible, when it's safe, you do want to run. Your stamina comes back at an okay speed, but remember that running makes more noise than walking. The reason you want to run, though, is because you want to start getting your cardio skill up. Improving your cardio skill will increase your stamina. Make your stamina bar a little bigger. Make sure you're always on the side or behind the zombie. They have a kind of a frontal cone vision. But as long as you're quiet, as long as you're in your crouch, even if you're doing the crouch dashing, they won't be able to hear you. Let's go ahead and scout this area. Doesn't look like there's any lootables here. I mean, there is one. It's probably at the top of the tower. The most important resource in the beginning of the game is fuel. And the reason fuel is so important is because fuel is the key to getting everything else. Having to walk everywhere, it's not too big a deal to walk to a nearby location, but it is a pretty big deal to have to walk to, like, far distances. You're very vulnerable to things like ferals, like you need to have that. So here's our... Yeah, I know how to survey. You need to have a set of wheels. If you want to get stuff done, you need wheels. And parts? Parts are always welcome. We need a lot of parts.
Yeah.
Another thing we need are guns. We need weapons.
Be the most perfect outpost
a crossbow would be nice, but I also want a shotgun. A shotgun is a pretty good base defense weapon for killing ferals. You need to make sure you kill them in one hit, though, because afterwards they are probably going to come, and the sound of the shotgun will
That's great.
attract more zombies, but when you're dealing with a feral, you need a weapon that is really reliable, like something that you can just get a snapshot off and just blast their head off. And a shotgun is pretty good for that. Even a basic shotgun, the Model 870.
Looks like another plague heart.
There's our plague heart.
I spy a screamer.
Screamer. So we want, basically what I'm looking for right now, I want three things. I want fuel, I want materials.
I've always wanted to drive one of those.
And I want, a Brogan Sport. That's a good vehicle. Is that the vehicle? Where is the Brogan Sport at? Okay, so that was the one that was near the feral, and now we can confirm that's out of fuel, so...
I think we can get that baby up and on the road.
Let's see if any of these vehicles have fuel in them. No, no. Where's that last one at? Oh, here it is.
I found some good stuff this round.
The answer is no to all of them. Okay. So while we're out, we're going to loot that nearby gas station, because like I said, we need fuel. Even a broken vehicle is still useful. Okay, we got a facility repaired, which is fine. Let's get this trash cleared. Oh, character's going bonkers. Feels like daytime is burning very rapidly. Like based on the color of the sun and whatnot, it feels like. Okay, that zombie heard me, so I'm gonna let him climb over. Zombies are really bad at climbing. So if you feel that you're overwhelmed, you can like hop up and down like things like that and just kind of execute them as they fall to the floor. If the fall isn't far enough, they may land on their feet, but it still takes them a moment to regain their balance, even if they land on their feet. Okay, we cleared the trash. First, let's secure the area. Okay, what I'm hoping to get here is a rucksack of fuel and a canister of fuel. That would be awesome. Parts. Man, that was a solid chunk of parts, so I won't be unhappy about it, but this is probably our last chance to get fuel, since the indoor ones are unlikely to have fuel, but they still can. Okay, that's a start.
Our fuel's low. We better get on that.
Everything is low, let's be honest here.
Alone at last. For now.
Okay. I want to at least go home with one rucksack, at least.
No luck in here.
Nothing, jeez. That stinks. Take another look around real quick. Wait, was that it? Yep. This, like, empty shelving apparently is a lootable item. Sure, why not?
Not exactly what I wanted.
Hey! See, while I was not optimistic about finding a refuel, we found some. Kinda want to check this area as well. So these things are probably going to give us chemicals, which we do want. We could also... I don't think these will give us fuel, but it will... Or get parts. I'll take parts. This will definitely not give us fuel. It'd be very surprising if it did. We have a little bit of a grace period in the beginning of the game. The zombies aren't as dense as they could be. Oh, that's actually really good stuff. That was great stuff. Item we could sell for money, and then a tool, like a broken weapon we could strip for parts. That was very good. Ah, so we can't carry that at the moment, and there's no vehicles nearby. Vagabond is the closest thing. I feel like these zombies won't have repopulated this area that I was just through. Floater laying down. Can ignore him. He's not a big deal. He did not see me. But zombies tend to go more by sound than sight, though that doesn't mean that they cannot see. Try to get around our peripheral vision. Now I will go get some wits EXP. Whenever you assassinate an enemy, just like that, get a little hit of wits. Okay, our objective is the vagabond over here. I want to see... Oh, never mind. That's a feral. So, if you're new to the game, you probably would not have noticed that specific zombie is a feral, so we're not going to do that. We don't have either of the... We don't have any of the things that are good for killing ferals. We don't have a gun. We don't have a lot of stamina items to fight the feral in hand-to-hand combat. You need a lot of stamina items to fight a feral safely in melee combat, because you need to dodge a lot. We don't have Powerhouse, which is a pretty good skill. I feel like it's pretty safe. We can run for at least a little bit. Okay, we got a horde. So one thing you don't want to do is execute hordes. Like, don't assassinate hordes. The hordes are like linked together, or I don't know what it is about them, but they're basically linked together. And if you assassinate one of them, the other ones will still react. Whereas, let's say there were 5 zombies clustered together, but they weren't considered part of a horde. you could absolutely execute them with a assassination and they would not hear it.
I should probably take a break before I fall over.
Okay. Oh, wait. This is where you dump off your supplies. Okay, let's put this stuff away. I'm going to keep this energy drink. That's actually extremely valuable. I'm going to dump these off. I'm going to keep both of these. And what I'm going to do now is head back to this car. What we're going to do is see if that... I don't see why the feral we saw earlier would have despawned. Like, he should still be there. Usually freak zombies, the game remembers their position. But not always. Not always. I'm okay with primarily executing these guys just because wits is one of the more annoying skills to level up. So if we can get a little bit of wit skill here and there, that's just perfect. So in this case, let's go for the one in the back first. That way he doesn't notice. We'll deal with him. We won't need to be nearly as quiet once we actually have some supplies, once we actually have some decent weapons and materials to maintain our gear. But in the beginning, you want to save as many parts as possible. You want to, like, swing your weapon as little as possible. So we're going to stay stealthier because we know that there was a feral earlier in the game. If you don't recognize ferals, just remember that they have kind of bluish clothing. And they're always leaning towards the ground. Let's see if we see them. Otherwise, I want to see... The reason I want that car, it's not just that it's a broken sport. Ah, darn. So it didn't load in its damage. I was wondering if maybe its physical condition looked better. Okay, there's the feral right there on the right. That's why I was stealthing my way through here. So the game did remember its position. The feral did not despawn. So we're going to bring this home. This vehicle is in really awful condition. It's very, very unsafe to drive this vehicle, but beggars cannot be choosers in the beginning of the game. The most dangerous thing about this vehicle is that the driver's side door is gone, meaning I can be pulled. A zombie can jump on the car and the driver's side. If they jump on it, they can pull me out of the vehicle. Nevertheless, we have recovered fuel. We'll leave the fuel in the back. Oops. Didn't want to do that. Kind of spooked me. I was like, who the heck are you? Okay, so I know that this is a gun store, so I kind of want to go out and see if I can find something to protect myself with.
Clear with a chance of zombies.
Deal with him. Okay, when driving, the zombies, they will chase after the sound of the vehicle, even if they don't get a visual on you. As long as they hear the vehicle, they will chase after the vehicle. So when we reach a location, we want to think about how many zombies are chasing after the vehicle. Like, if I just stop at this location over here, is that going to be a problem? Like, am I going to have to deal with, like, 20 zombies chasing after the vehicle? So sometimes what you want to do is drive a little bit farther than the location. Get out, enter stealth, and just get away from your vehicle. See these three...
Gotta kill that screamer!
Where? There. Very important that that screamer does not scream. So what we're going to do, we're just going to kind of like stealth away from it. Now, it actually knows, it's coming after me. Like, it knows I'm here. So what I'm trying to do is just lose line of sight with it. I just want to get it to where... Hopefully I can climb over this without getting detected. Yes, I can. So by breaking sight with that screamer, it should forget about where I am, and it should basically be like, oh, where'd he go? And then I can come back and deal with it later. Very nice. Let's go ahead and mark the screamer. Let's get eyes on him and see what he's up to. Because once we kill him, we can... So there he is over there. What I'm trying to see, is he just wandering around, or is he specifically heading towards me? It looks like he's still on to me. Now, it's pretty safe around here. I don't see any other nearby zombies. So I'm just going to go and take him out.
Enjoy peace eternal, asshole.
The reason I was looking around is because melee combat makes surprising amounts of noise. Oh. Forgot about the potential of zombies indoors. We need to get into combat with them very quickly. Like, don't try to... If you're gonna fight a zombie, make sure you get into combat with them. Don't let them just kind of wander around, because if they just start wandering, they might scream. Like that one just now screamed. So now that he screamed, I now know I'm gonna have... the probability is very good that I'm gonna have visitors. There's one over there. Okay, I think we've got about 4 of them.
I can't keep this up.
This one's banging on the door, making a huge ruckus, which is annoying. This one, despite the fact that it's running, is not running after me, it's just reacting to the sound. Sounds like it made it through the front door finally.
Searching this place should keep us busy for a while.
There's the target. So the reason she came back here is because the zombie is moving to where it last heard a sound.
Nothing more to kill here.
Okay, now the area is clear so we can start looting. Hopefully we find... I'm looking for basically 3 things. I would like a crossbow, I would like a shotgun, and I would like... This one's unlikely to get, but a scoped bolt-action weapon. Okay, so here's our shotgun and a little bit of ammo. That's our protection against... Some protection against a feral. Very noisy, though. Basically, if we shoot a feral, we have to leave immediately after discharging the weapon.
Nothing of use.
Unless it's a home defense weapon, then in that case, it's always noisy at home.
Could be worse.
Light arrows would be useful if we had a crossbow to shoot them. Got some rifle ammo. Sure, why not? Got some rare ammo for the revolvers. Also not super important. I doubt I will use any revolvers in this playthrough. Interesting. Where is the final lootable? I knew that lootable is always a pain. Wait, is it right here? Oh, it was right in front of me.
Nothing more to find
Ah,
here.
rifle
Let's
ammo
go.
press. Not insanely useful, but useful. I much would have preferred something more like a pistol ammo press. That would have been better. Although at the same time, it depends. A rifle ammo press would be useful if we got a particularly good rifle like the Hunter's Bolt Scout. That is a really good weapon. Now, one of the disadvantages of driving farther away means you gotta go farther. Let's just kill this guy and get some Wits EXP once again. We almost picked our Wits skill. Okay, when I go home, we want to make sure we don't go this way, because that, remember, the Pharaoh was somewhere in that area. So I want to go, let me put the marker in this direction. That's the basic direction I want to go. Nighttime, it's a pain. There's no benefit to fighting at nighttime, other than you save time. Because, you know, you could wait until daytime, but that does eat up a lot of time, and it might be bad for your supplies. So all these guys are going to hear the car, so that's going to be annoying since the vehicle is right there. So that means we might have company back at base. We'll see. We actually drove a decent distance, though. Like, zombies will get bored of chasing after a while. What I want to do is break contact with them. And I want to go back and put our ammo into the base. There we go. I'm gonna get this guy to chase me. This guy will trip and fall after chasing long enough. There we go. Now we didn't have to shoot our gun and attract more attention. Okay, so that's okay. Okay-ish. But yeah, I think that'll do it for this episode. So, if you're a regular viewer, you know my episodes are usually a little bit longer. I want to make shorter, easier to record episodes just because they're just easier for me to do. And that's the main thing right there. I may not upload every single day. I might upload every other day. I might upload every day. It just depends. It's very. I've been playing the game so long that people gave me a lot of suggestions about what I should do. Let me tell you what I want to do. I just want to enjoy the game right now, and this is the way. This is the best way for me to have fun playing the game. The very beginning of State of Decay 2, that is my favorite part, and I don't want to muck it up by doing some kind of weird challenge or anything like that. I just want to play the game. That's basically what I want to do, and that's why this is going to be themed after a new player's guide. Each episode will be somewhere between 30 and 45 minutes. If I'm in the middle of something really important, we'll play longer. I'm playing it by ear, basically. That's the way you can see it. Anyways, that's the end of this episode. Going to be doing some nighttime stuff next time. Got to look for some construction materials for the most part. But hey, that is that. Like this video if it was entertaining. Subscribe for more State of Decay 2 content. Of course, remember that you don't have to be good to get good.